My fans and followers wanted me to speak on the resignation of Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo from Atiku Abubakar's campaign organization as one of his spokesperson. Let me just say this. As a frontliner or one of the first to speak about Kenneth's inconsistency or what the character he is, I personally do not take any joy in his fall, demise, or misfortune. Kenneth Okonkwo is a fellow Igbo man, and naturally I would want him to excel and go places. He's a brilliant man, he's intelligent, he's cerebral, and he's an awesome spokesperson, especially when he allows his reasoning to control what he says. Shows that Kenneth refuses to recognize the boundaries between what is libelous and what is negative political campaign. Besides that, I wish him well. I'm not surprised that he resigned. Resignation should be the best option for him. Taking a sabbatical should be a good option for him so that he goes away and allow all this mess he made to simmer down. He can come back and rebuild his career in politics and still go places. To that extent, I wish him well. The bigger picture should be the attempt to deregister ADC through the court. You all know Nigerian judiciary, and you all know all these judges, right? Yeah. They are their master's voices in a lot of ways. But why would a judge deregister ADC and a few other parties, which they added to it as a smoke screen? Well, look at it this way. I'm not a lawyer, but I will attempt at looking at what the Constitution says. ADC doesn't have a single councillor anywhere in the country. So if you look at that, the fortunes of ADC as a party does not meet the criteria for it to continue to exist as a political party. Since Chief Nwosu registered that party, the party has not won no election. So if you're going from that line of thought, the judge is absolutely correct. But when you just oppose your views or look at it from the other lens, ADC today, nobody will argue that ADC as of today is not a national party, right? ADC has a national spread. So in Nigeria, where everything about our judges and their ruling, get based on technicalities, I am thinking that the judge should have looked at the spread of ADC as of today, its strength as of today, and in not following that path to deregister it. That's my own personal thinking. I'm not questioning the judge, but that's my personal thinking. Nobody will say ADC is not a force to reckon with. As at today, ADC is the national party, is a great party, is an opposition party. Yeah. But let me take this opportunity to say, where are those who truly shade that His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi for leaving ADC? Recall that I made a few videos and I also tried to explain Peter Gregory Obi's reasons for leaving the ADC. Chief in his reason for leaving the ADC are the many problems of the ADC, which included this very legal battle that is going to cost its registration, status. Obi has viewed this, has seen this, and Obi decided to do a measured, decision and walk away. Today, who is right? Between Obi and the noisy ones that threw shade at him and called him names, who is right? Obi is right because he's very critical, he's very analytical. He looked at it and he saw that there is a bigger mess in the future, and he saved his political campaign. He would have been in the same struggle today with Atiku Abubakar and probably Governor Adeleke of the Accord Party. You see what I mean? So politics is not all about noise. It's about being analytical. It's being critical. It's being looking at things dispassionately and making the most intelligent decision. But who is to gain, assuming ADC gets deregistered? For the minions that work for APC and this president, it will be in their interest, assuming ADC gets deregistered. In their head, almost all the governors of the North are now in the APC. So in their usual thinking, if you remove ADC and Atiku Abubakar from the race, you will create a two-horse race of a zero-sum game where what Obi loses at Bola Tinubu gains, or what Bola Tinubu loses, Obi gain. So in their own reasoning and in their head, they'll be thinking of, oh, His Excellency Peter Gregory will be placed by the book. He's a man that goes by the Constitution. He's not going to join them in their rigging. He's not going to join them in, carrying away of the ballot boxes. He's not going to join them in mutilation of the election result, in changing of figures and all that. So in their head, they are going to have a field day in the north using their governors to rig the election. If you are in surprise, if APC will rig the election or not, look at how APC rigged the primaries for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man who did a presidential primaries against himself, and yet he still rigged his own primaries. Look at their counting. They count 1 and they count 1,000. In a primary where nobody is competing with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his party still rigged the election for him. So they're not going to stop at anything than to rig the real national election, right? Especially if it's a two-way race. So in their head, if they can remove Atiku Abubakar from the equation, it will make their rigging a lot easier, because they know Atiku Abubakar will go into the gutters with them. Just like the way they go to the gutters. Yeah, Atiku Abubakar will be willing to go to the gutters with them. But I have some surprising news for the APC. Atiku Abubakar will never go away without a fight. He's going to fight this. He's going to challenge it all the way to Supreme Court. But let us say, for instance, only saying without conceding, he loses at the Supreme Court and his party gets deregistered. APC, just don't get too excited. Atiku Abubakar will not go away. His team and his campaign organization will realign. The opposition will reunite again against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will only align in a realigned manner, and there will still be an opposition against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's a fact. Also, who even told APC that in a two-way horse race that they're going to win? Who told them that they're going to be allowed to rig the election? Who told them that they will be allowed to mutilate results and get INEC to announce results like they used to do? That is also not going to happen. Who even told them that people in the north will vote for them? You and I know that if you put the election down on the ground today, no part of the country will vote for APC, regardless the number of governors they have in the government houses. The people genuinely will never vote for APC. Who even told APC that leaders of the north is going to back their thinking? That if Atiku Abubakar goes away, the north will become there for them to grab. Who told APC that Alhaji Kwakwanso is not strong enough to take over the north if you remove Atiku Abubakar? Maybe it's going to be news, but I will repeat it here. If the APC succeed in removing Atiku Abubakar from this race, Kwankwaso will take over the entire north. This is a promise. Kwankwaso will take over the entire north. Presently, Kwankwaso is sharing the north in a very good way with Atiku Abubakar. That is a fact. So the thinking that a two-way horse race will be easier for them than a three-way horse race is just mere daydreaming and somebody massaging his political ego. That is not how it's going to be. In the last, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be one-time president too. I know, say, as a party that rigs even in its own primaries, you people will not stop at anything at rigging the election, but it's not going to save the day. So this is not a good news that ADC is getting deregistered. It's also not a good news for APC that they are attempting at removing Alhaji Atiku Abubakar from the race. Even when they remove Atiku Abubakar from the race, Obi will still beat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a smoother and a cleaner manner. Think about it.